Good evening out there, everybody. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Um, Wanted to talk about something that I often say to other people that look like me. That phrase is be safe, black man. Found myself ending conversations with my fellow brothers that look like me. And I would always say, be safe. Be safe out there. This is a statement that we have to tell our black sons. We have to tell our black daughters. This is a statement that black and brown people often have to tell their children. Be safe. It's something that we have to teach our kids if they get pulled over by the cops to be safe. Make sure you don't raise your voice. Make sure your wallet is somewhere easily accessible. Make sure that you don't ask too many questions. Make sure you don't look the wrong way. Be safe is something that we tell our kids as they walk to school. Make sure you don't cross in front of the wrong house, or make sure you don't seem to be out of place. What is so troubling to me about the words be safe, black man, is how can we be safe when our very essence is a threat to society? This systemic racist system has done an amazing job at painting the black male as a terrorist, as a monster, as a beast, as a thug, as someone that is only capable of hurt and harm. All of these are a lie. You know, it's frustrating to me when I have to have conversations with other black people about how to be safe. You know, we see multiple videos of people being brutalized by police, by citizens that have no kind of judicial power, yet they feel like they can take the law in their own hands. And so we see people killed by cops, by normal citizens, white people committing these heinous crimes. And so oftentimes we could say, oh, well, he should have did this, or they should have did that, or don't walk in the wrong neighborhood. How is it that we've come to a place to where people want to believe that me as a black man don't belong in a certain neighborhood, or I don't belong in a certain type of car? When have we got to the spot to where society thinks that we as a black race, as a group of people, should be beneath always and should never have success, should never have education, should never have proper diction, should never be able to use our minds, should never be able to articulate ourselves? When did we get to the place in society when we were not able to visualize or vocalize or dream? And that's the thing that has become the threat to this systemic racist system. And if you think that racism is not alive, you are not living in reality, because racism is very alive. I'm so frustrated again with the heinous crimes that I'm seeing across this country, and it's targeting against black people. We have been the result of a target practice for several years. We have been the results of police going out and hunting. We have been the prey for white men who feels like they can take the law into their own hands. We've become their game. And at some point, enough has to be enough. You know, so when I look at the phrase, be safe, black man, be safe, black woman, be safe, brown and black people, it puts heaviness on my heart, because it's so ironic that we would have to try to identify a type of behavior that will be deemed safe to some, and a threat to other people. Me just walking down the street as a black male with a beard and 6'3" is a threat to society. And so I think that first of all, we have to address the mindset, the mentality. I was having a conversation last night, and it was so crazy that when we stand up and when we start talking about black consciousness, it's something that puts you on the radar, because a lot of our own people don't want to accept the idea of black acceptance and black love. And if you're too powerful and too much of a leader, you're seen as a threat by this systemic racist system. And so when a male, a black man, decides to stand up and speak out against these crimes, speak out against racism, speak out against hatred, speak out against everything that we're seeing going on in this world, it's like a catch-22 almost. So how can we be safe and try to educate our younger brothers and sisters, or try to educate our black and brown people? How can we be safe when soon as we start to speak out against these crimes that we're automatically a target? A bullseye is now put on our backs. How can we be safe when we're not able to speak out against this violence? How can we be safe when we're not allowed to get justice for crimes that have been committed against us by those that have taken an oath to protect the law? How can we be safe? That's the question. Is safety merely a mindset? And it's so fragile that those that are not able to think that they have that capacity, or if they think that their norm is being stretched and now they feel they're no longer safe, they have the right to do harm to that thing that is opposing that safety. See, if your mindset has been washed with white privilege, it's very, very difficult for you to find yourself in safe parameters when around black people. And so how can we be safe when society has tricked you guys into believing that we are thugs, that we are uneducated, that we are violent, that we are monsters, that we are nothing more than mere animals? And perhaps you haven't said this, but maybe you think that yourself. And so you behave differently when you're around black people. For everybody that making calls that are erroneous and bogus because you're a white woman and you feel privileged and you feel like you have the ability to call the police in hopes that the police will come and neutralize the threat. But what is a threat? I'm so frustrated with everything that's going on. I'm so outraged with how we have slipped and slidden in this weak and volatile society. I'm going to continue to speak out against it because wrong is wrong. I think our people are feeling pain. I think we're feeling the weight of injustice. And I think we're beginning to wake up. And I think that we're beginning to let our voices be heard. And I think we're on the brink of change. I think we're going to have to tear down this system and rebuild it from the ground up. And let me make this disclaimer. The approval of black love is not the rejection of any other kind of race. The fact that I love my people doesn't mean I hate everybody else. But I think it's time for us to show us love. This is Elgin Stevens. Till I see you again. Peace.